Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the May 16, 2011 City of Waukegan City Council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conkin.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
Alderman Beedling.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present. Thank you.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
We have a quorum. Thank you, everybody. Please rise for the pledge and followed by a moment of silence.
Cunningham? Okay. Oh, you got me?
Thank you. Be seated, please. We'll go right into audience time. First up, we have Diane Verratti.
Diane Verratti, 2597 Club Home Lane, Waukegan. Most of you know me. I haven't met personally all of our new aldermen yet, but those of you who've been on the council do know that I've been totally involved in downtown issues, particularly in Waukegan, for over a decade. And am so pleased to be able to have been at the lunch with the mayor today, sponsored by Waukegan Main Street. We heard from 3 of our new downtown business owners, and it was totally encouraging to hear that things are working and things are happening, and to hear from themselves personally what brought them to Waukegan and what's keeping them in Waukegan. And I'm delighted to have been a part of this grassroots movement for so long. I am looking with some other residents of Waukegan at another issue that I think is going to become kind of a grassroots movement as well. And kind of like to give all of you a heads up and to ask for your cooperation, your interest, your questions, your support. There are a number of us who've been talking in recent months about a direction for our city that would include a structure of government where we would hire a city manager. There is a lot of precedent out there in our state and other states. There are a lot of other communities who have done exceedingly well with this type of government, and this is not something that we're hoping to just rise up and have happen overnight. We are going to be doing our due diligence in studying other communities, looking at legislation, ways that this can happen, looking at the part that everybody in the city, elected officials, as well as volunteers in the community can play in that kind of movement. So I just want to let you know that we're starting to work on that. We decided to wait until the new council members were seated, and that was 2 weeks ago. So here we are, getting ready to explore something that I think, and I think many others believe as well, could have a huge positive impact on our city. So I want to thank all of you aldermen. I don't want to call you old aldermen, but the ones who've been on the council. I want to thank you and to welcome the new ones onto this August body, and to hope that we can all work together, because I know that your desire, as well as our desire, is to build a stronger, better, more effective city, and we want to do that together. So thank you all.
Thank you. Next, Violet Ricker.
Good evening. My name is Violet Ricker. I live at 10 North Sheridan Road, and I'm the Executive Director of Waukegan Main Street, our downtown development nonprofit. I just wanted to thank everyone who attended the Art Walk event that we had in downtown Waukegan this past Saturday. We had a great turnout despite the rain. We had a lot of fun in the art galleries that we had down there, and we have the next one slated for June 18th, so save that date in your calendars. I also want to thank the mayor and our city staff and aldermen who attended lunch with the mayor today at the Genesee Theater. We had a great fundraiser for Main Street. At the Genesee Theater was wonderful, and we're so thankful to SMG for all the hard work that they do to promote downtown and to work with Waukegan Main Street. One of the most inspiring parts today was Heidi Kurtz was in from Art Space, the project that we're working on to restore the old Karcher Hotel, and she was telling us how the community in Waukegan is going above and beyond what most communities do when they have a project coming in. She was so impressed with our galleries, with our artists, with our enthusiasm, with our commitment to fundraising and to really getting the project done. So we were very, very proud to hear that from her. Finally, I would like to invite everybody to a community forum that First Congregational United Church of Christ on Grand Avenue is hosting. This Wednesday evening at 6 p.m., they have a community forum sponsored by Equality Illinois, where the CEO and field directors of Equality Illinois will be available to answer questions about civil unions, which become legal in Illinois starting on June 1st. And downtown Waukegan is one of the places where you can get a civil union, so we're excited to keep everybody informed about that. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Chuck Lack.
My name is Chuck Lakey. I live at 5531 Hilltop Lane, and on the other side in Consolidated Waukegan. During the pause, the mayor's pause, I also offered a prayer for the safe return of the Endeavor, and for a miracle to happen with Pope John becoming beatified. I would like him to become a saint. He might be able to help us all out a little bit. We all received our tax bills within the last 10 days. And much to our chagrin, the taxes went up rather than went down. With the reduction in with the assessed evaluations and everything else, the state decided to make that up by raising the multiplier up to 1.99. But also, there were some line items on there as we looked at the taxes that increased substantially over what we thought the aldermen were voting for in the fall. We were told at the time that 20% of our tax bill was for the city of Waukegan, but of that 20%, 80% was for pensions and for policemen, for not just policemen, for personnel within the city of Waukegan. Actually, the city taxes went down on my bill, but the pensions went up almost 60%. I've been told that it was complicated, and I understand the complications because we really don't know what's going on. However, the real fact is that we're just kicking the can down the road. I read in the News Sun that there were some concessions made by some of the unions on what was going on, but that is going to happen again in 2 years. So if I have a trouble paying my mortgage and I go to the bank and say, I want to wait for a couple years until everything settles down, and then you and I can sit down and talk again, and then I can pay my mortgage again, maybe that would work. I don't think so. So this is getting crazy. We got to quit kicking the can, and we got to be able to start to do something what's going to help this budget to reduce our tax base in the city.
Thank you, Mr. Lackey, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name. The next one, number 4, I'm sorry, I cannot read. It starts with a V. The first name starts with a J-O, and then there's a V-I, it appears. I'll give the address, 2132 North Jackson.
Hi, my name is Vojislav Velkovic, nickname Cole. I live actually in 2132 North Jackson. And I just came like a lot of people up here to see what's going on with our taxes because
Could you speak into the
trying
microphone,
to see
sir?
what's going on with our taxes. In reality, our value of the house is dropping down and our taxes going up. And I strictly actually trying to see what's going on and support all those people which are trying to ask for the same question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is, again, this one's a little tough for me. It's at 84 Montesano is the address. If you could introduce yourself, please, too.
My name is Rada Flesher. I'm living in 84 Montesano, Waukegan. A few days ago, I got my tax bill with increasing $800 this year, and I'm on a fixed income. I wonder how I can pay those bills. I would like to know, this councilman, give the answer. What's going on? What's we gonna do? That's a terrible things. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Al Lewis. Not here. Okay. Mr. Perry Foster.
Perry Foster, 2026 Kingston Road. I'm here to comment on the 8 officers that were laid off yesterday. But first, as a citizen of Waukegan, I'd like to personally thank the firefighters, the police lieutenants, and the police sergeants for stepping up to the plate and taking the needed concessions to help the city in its financial issues that we're currently in, especially the veteran firefighters for taking the 2-year pay freeze for keeping the young guys on the thing. So again, I'd like to thank you for your service and commitment to the city of Waukegan and the citizens of Waukegan. Mayor and some of the aldermen, you guys know that my son is a police officer and was one of the ones that was laid off. And also not to, the money that the city has invested in them, in their training and their, that they have, 3 to 4 years. Out of the 8, you're looking at 3 of them as evidence technicians, 1 of them was a DUI officer, and 1 was even up for Officer of the Year last year. So to throw that away, I don't see the value in that. Mayor, I know you've said a couple times that you run the city as a business, and you're the CEO. All businesses have board of directors, which I believe are the aldermen up here, and I would like to know if they had a say in the layoffs, or was it just your decision only on that? So I think these officers have done nothing but serve the city with dignity and honor for the last 3 to 4 years, and for us to let them go without coming to an agreement with you and the union. And I would like to challenge the alderman tonight to make a motion to put these officers back to work, both sides, get back to the table, and come up with a fair and equal agreement that it's going to help the city to keep these officers on. The city needs the officers for the safety. You guys keep talking about downtown, the stuff. People aren't going to come if they don't feel safe. So we need to keep these officers on. And I know the thing that I have is that the city, you can't take the farm from the union. Union, you can't keep the farm from the city. If you guys work together and grow the farm, the city can go. So thank you for your time and patience, and I hope that we keep these officers on. Thank you.
Next is Pat Morris.
I'd like to address the council about property taxes a little bit, since I work in the assessor's office and we're kind of on the front line of this whole thing. And this has been a particularly troubling year. First of all, I'd like to, my name is Pat Morris. I live at 2041 Alta Vista in Waukegan in the 7th Ward. And I would like to let you guys know that I am not envious of your position. And I have my heartfelt sympathy for the person sitting in the mayor's chair during these difficult times. I think the only level of government that has a more difficult time than you guys is maybe the state of Illinois. And those legislators have a way of solving their problems by ignoring them and actually creating more difficulties for taxpayers. So,
Mr. Morris, for 1 second. Your Honor, it sounds like he might go over a little bit. We want to make sure he gets interrupted. Okay, we just want to make sure. Thank you, Mr. Morris.
okay. So anyway, I sympathize with you guys. It's very troubling times, and we're seeing it on the front lines. I'm sure you're well aware tax bills went out about 2 weeks ago. The questions we're getting are basically 2 or 3 questions over and over again. The biggest question is when I got my notice back in the fall that my assessment went down 15%, I expected a tax decrease, and what I got instead was either a slight increase or a no change in taxes. We have to try to answer those questions. What we first try to do is steer them toward the assessment, because that's what our responsibility is, and make sure that they don't have an assessment problem. This year it seems like we're not getting many questions on the assessments at all, because they went down 12 to 16% on residential properties typically. And I'm just trying to make you guys aware of this situation, because I'm sure you're getting some of the phone calls too. We've already had a couple people talking about it tonight. I should have taken a lesson from Violet, I just thought, because she talks faster than anybody I know, and I could probably speed this up a little bit if I could talk like her. The typical residential assessment, as I said, went down 12 to 16%, but we had an unprecedented increase in the tax rate, the overall tax rate, which you guys are just one portion, that 1/9 of that tax rate. And the increase was 15%. And I went back in history a little bit, 20-some years. The biggest rate increase we had prior to this year was 9.4% when the school district passed a referendum back in 2001. We've never had anything near a 15% increase. The leaders in that increase is the city of Waukegan with a 19% increase in their tax rate. The actual dollars collected by the city is about going to be about $2.5 million more than it was last year. The biggest question we're getting is, people read the newspapers, and in December they were led to believe, as was I, that there was going to be a 0 levy increase. So they're asking us, how come the levy went up 10%, the rate for the city went up 19%? We're having a real tough time answering that. And it's probably not our responsibility to answer that. So my staff's been instructed to try to steer them to the assessment thing, give them whatever information we can give them that's within our realm, and make sure they get involved with all 9 taxing bodies that levy a tax every year in December, and put pressure on public officials. If the problem is not the assessment, then the problem is the levies. And if people are upset about their taxes, we're telling them that they need to talk to those people who levy taxes. School district, park district, city are the big 3. And last, the other question we're getting is, why did the school district go up 5%? So it's not only the city is up 9.6% in their levy, but the school district's up 5% also. That's another difficult question for us that we cannot answer. And I plan on attending a school board meeting and making them aware too that we're hearing from people about their taxes and about what happened, why did this happen. The last thing I'd like to mention is I also did some research in the county about tax rates. Now, it's no surprise for any of you that pay attention to finances that the tax bills are calculated just simple multiplication, assessment times rate equals taxes. As the assessments go down, which they're going down throughout the county, throughout the state, throughout the country, the tax rates are expected to rise. We expected a 5 to maybe 10% increase in the tax rate this year. We got a 15% in our overall tax rate. The communities around us, Waukegan's 15%, North Chicago had a 10.8% increase in their tax rate. Grays Lake 8.3, Zion 7.9, Round Lake 7.8, Gurnee and Libertyville about 6.5%. So Waukegan's on the top of the heap, and that's not a good thing. It's the volume of calls we've had this year are probably no more than another year and any other year, but the quality of the calls, we've had a lot of people in tears, people really feeling the pinch this year. So just wanted to make you aware. Again, the number one question we're getting is, we were led to believe that the city went up 0, they went up 9.6. How can that be? So just want to make you aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Dan Trainoff.
I brought some photographs for show and tell. My name's Dan Trainoff. I live at 202 South Elmwood. I came here on behalf of my neighbor, Etta Christian. She's 85 years old. She's lived in the same house on my block since the mid-50s. What is that? Close to 60 years, I think. Etta called me recently. I could tell she was a bit emotional. She was at her wit's end because the mess in our alley. She's having out-of-town visitors, and she's embarrassed by the mess in our alley. And personally, I've tried to deal with it. I've gotten nowhere. But when Etta called me, I got angry. And I don't know whether to sit up here and bash the people that well-deserved, need to be bashed. Because I sat up here a few weeks ago and listened to aldermen talk about citizens not taking care of their yards. This is the city of Waukegan not taking care of their citizens. And Etta, she had a mishap recently, and she can't get around very well. She takes good care of her yard. She always has. Since 1955, she's taken care of her yard. She's paid her taxes. She's done her duty as a citizen. And to get treated like this is uncalled for. She told me she called our alderman. Nothing. Help this woman. Clean this alley up, please.
Thank you. Rolando Villafuerte.
Rolando Villafuerte. I live in the Bonnie Brook subdivision. I'm also the president of the Patrolmen's Union. And when I know we're not popular right now, I just have a real brief statement. As the council is aware, our union and the city were unable to reach an agreement that would save our 8 officers from losing their jobs. Since 2004, the police department has been reduced by 34 officers, and 18 of those within the past 2 years. Because of this, our membership put strict guidelines on us as to what we were able to do heading into those negotiations. During the process, we set aside some of our restrictions on both the length that we were looking for and on our need for a no layoff clause. Even doing that, we were still unable to, reach an agreement. It was also our hope that the city would accept the federal grant that's still there for us. I know Chief Greathouse told us that it's still there. It's still a possibility that we can accept these, these funds, the $2.28 million, I believe it is, and that these funds could be reallocated to recall some of these officers, if not all of them, that were laid off. I did a little research myself. I did find on the Department of Justice website there is a form. It's a COPS hiring program award modification request. It allows the funds to be used for the rehiring of officers laid off post-application. These funds have already been awarded to the city of Waukegan. I recommend that the city, use them before the government takes them back from us and gives them to another community. We all know that our community needs them just as much as anybody else, and it would be a shame to let them see them go away. Let's get these officers back on the road, working, protecting our community, keeping our people safe. I can provide you with a copy of this form. It's a one-page form. I have it here. It's very simple to fill out. If you like, I can provide you a copy with that after the meeting or within the near future. At this time, I know it's not going to happen right now, but I would like to request that someone on the council make a motion to accept the grant for the purpose of recalling these officers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Margaret Carrasco.
Good evening, Margaret Carrasco, 532 North Lewis Avenue. This is to the 70 City of Waukegan employees on the chopping block, or apparently I didn't realize they've already been self-let go. 15 police officers, 10 firefighters, 5 custodians, 3 laborers, 3 maintenance workers, 3 fire department lieutenants, 2 fire department captains, 2 police lieutenants, 2 police sergeants, and a deputy police chief. Folks, I was here when we had that vote. Alderman voted to adopt a zero growth tax levy that the words were, froze our property taxes. What's different today versus back then, December 2010, was that we, as this was mentioned tonight, we got our property taxes. And I'm sorry, Mr. Morris, to refer to a slight increase in light of the economic climate today. I do not know of any household property that is less, has not had an increase of less than $700. I know a man who was increased $7,000. We did not want anyone to lose a job. But the exchange was that our taxes would be frozen. Our taxes weren't frozen, they went up. Do the math. The money is there. We don't understand. People don't understand. The second thing is that I know, Mayor, several instances, occasions you have commented about, I believe you said the lack of participation, attendance at some of the city events. I think that suggests, in light, once again, of the times we're going through, I spoke to several persons here in the community about attending the luncheon today. They wanted to attend, but $60, I think, in the city of Waukegan, what people are making, just barely surviving, it was just really too expensive. And maybe if that would have been less, I think that our goal is more, that's the key, the unity, getting people involved and being there, because money is not everything. And I just, you take that in consideration for future events here in Waukegan. And I, do the math to all those employees getting laid off. How many houses, how many properties? That's a heck of a lot of money that property taxes were increased. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment. Next, we'll take minutes. Take a motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Beedling, to accept the minutes of May 2nd, 2011, the regular meeting and executive session. Let's do a roll call on that. Roll call.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Next up are resolutions and proclamations. Take a motion by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Valco, to accept a resolution that the clerk will read in recognition of the birthday of the United States Army. Mr. Clerk?
It's a proclamation. Whereas the United States Army is celebrating its 236th birthday on June 14, 2011, on this date, the United States Army will recognize with great pride the thousands of young Americans who have answered and will continue to answer the call of service. Those young men and women have shown a profound sense of duty, selfless service, and respect through acts of great honor, integrity, and personal courage. And whereas the all-volunteer Army is a uniquely American phenomenon that began as an experiment at the height of the Cold War, and the quality and success of the volunteer force remains unprecedented. And whereas today the United States Army is recognized as the premier army of the world, with American volunteer soldiers serving 120 countries. Now therefore be resolved that Mayor Sabanjan and the City Council of the City of Waukegan do hereby designate June 14th as the United States Army 236th birthday, and declare a period from June 13th through June 18th, 2011 as United States Army Week in Chicago, Illinois, We encourage all citizens to join with them in this salute as we express our gratitude to those who have served and those who are now serving to protect our nation and its freedoms. Further be resolved that a soon embossed copy of this resolution signed by the mayor and clerk be presented to the Department of Army dated the 16th day of May, 2011.
Thank you. We have the motion by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Valco. All in favor of accepting and forwarding this resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Now what we'd like to do is, ladies and gentlemen, move up on the agenda Labor Relations Committee, if we could, please, to be the first committee report. I'd like to accept a motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Newsom, to move up that agenda item. So in essence, it would go before the Judiciary Committee. I'd like to have a roll call on this, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. And I will, Alderman Rivera chaired the last meeting, so I would ask that he read the two agenda items that are coming out of Labor Relations Committee, and I do believe we will need to go into executive session to discuss these. Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Labor Relations met on Thursday, May 12th, 2011, approximately 4 o'clock. Item A, approve the agreement between the City of Waukegan and Teamsters Local 700, representing the Waukegan Police Lieutenants, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera. We have a second by Alderman Newsom, and I should have probably stated that it probably would be better if we just read the items than go into executive session and come back out and address them, action-wise.
Okay.
So if you'd like to read the second one, and then what I'll take is a motion to go in executive session. I apologize
And
for
item
that.
B, approve the agreement between the City of Waukegan and Metropolitan Alliance of Police, MAP, Police Sergeants, Chapter number 285.
Thank you. And we also will go into executive session. We will discuss settlement of claims. I believe we have 2 claims before us. So I'll take a motion by, again, Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Newsom, to go in executive session. Roll call on that, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will probably be about 10 to 15 minutes in executive session, and we will come back out and pick up the meeting from this point forward. Thank you. Appreciate your patience.
But this doesn't stop it. One time. One time. No, don't give me that. That is the lousiest argument, Chris. Because it's been ruled illegal. It's been ruled illegal by the federal government. Our ordinance is illegal. Our ordinance is illegal.
Is everybody back?
True, but the ordinance, and the ordinance is illegal. You can't force it. I will give you that. I will give
Since
you that.
since I had read Ralph read it, so.
You see, you can't make that argument. You can't make that argument. You just can't.
It says it's in.
The 1 year? We don't have to bargain for the next year.
And the city ordinance should have been
bargaining
changed
for the
when it was
next year.
deemed illegal, and it never was.
You don't have to come back to the bargain.
Welcome to Waukegan. But if a federal law outdoes the city ordinance, then you don't have to comply with the city ordinance.
Some of the stuff in here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'll take a motion to come back and do regular session by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman Rivera. Roll call on that, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Thank you very much. We're back in regular session. We'll return to Alderman Rivera, who chaired the last Labor Relations Committee meeting. We have the two items that are the two contracts, one being with the Teamsters Local 700, representing the Waukegan Police Lieutenants. The second is the agreement between the City of Waukegan, Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Police Sergeants Chapter. I would like to take a motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Newsom, on item A, which is to approve agreement between City of Waukegan and Teamsters Local 700, representing the Waukegan Police Lieutenants. Could we have a roll call, please?
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
No, and I explain my vote. I'm against a 12-hour shift. I don't think anybody can be that alert for 12 hours. And I feel very strongly about that. It's not negotiable as far as I'm concerned.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, we take the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Newsom, to approve the agreement between the City of Waukegan and Metropolitan Alliance of Police, known as MAP, Police Sergeants Chapter 285. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Vote no against a 12-hour shift.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time and work on that. Now we will go back to the agenda, which under committee reports and motions, the first committee up is Judiciary Committee. Alderman May.
I'm going to ask that this is put back into committee. The Judiciary Committee has not met since the new aldermen have been seated, and there are some amendments that we'd like to make to this ordinance, and we'd like the new committee to have a look at it before we vote on it, so I'd like to make a motion to put it back in committee.
It's really not required you make a motion. You
Okay.
just request as an alderman's prerogative, and the chairman of that committee, it will be returned to your committee, and it will be done.
So be it.
So thank you very much. Then we move on to...
Your Honor, I just,
Oh,
there
yes,
is-
I'm sorry.
there is a
Who's
comment.
speaking?
Alderman Cunningham.
Alderman Cunningham, I'm sorry.
There is a comment. I would, I thought there was an agreement made on this. I do respect the chairman's position on it, but I thought there was an agreement made on this particular ordinance. Obviously, there were some things that concern a couple of the aldermen that just wasn't, I'm assuming wasn't in there originally when we looked at it. So when we take a look at this, I really hope we take a look at it and finally get this out and put it on for the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
And you are on that committee, so you will be privy to the discussion and an integral part of it. So we're looking forward to getting that moved through. Next up is Finance Committee, Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, Your Honor. Finance Committee met on Monday, May 9th, 6 p.m. We have two agenda items. The first item is to adopt a resolution allowing the City of Waukegan to continue the home funds agreement with the County of Lake, City of North Chicago, and HUD from May 1st, 2012 to April 30th, 2015, and I so moved.
We have the motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May, to adopt the resolution as presented. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item B is to approve the renewal of the city's telephone systems maintenance contract with AT&T Global Services for an amount not to exceed $37,351 annually for a period of 3 years, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
I'm going to vote aye, but I do want to mention this. You know, I noticed there's a 3-year contract on here, Your Honor. Just from my past experience and being a phone manager with Allstate insurance company for 10 years, these phone systems, particularly the service contracts, a 3-year contract I think is very long. Typically, those service contracts and the way the equipment is, the technology is today, annually would probably be better for us to take a look at it. But I'm going to vote aye if that's the wishes of your staff.
Thank you.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. That concludes Finance Committee.
Yes.
We have Public Works Committee, Alderman Moiseo.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Works Committee met on May 9th. First part of new business is request permission to adopt a street ordinance. Motion to recommend that the City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to adopt a street ordinance, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. I believe this would be a voice vote.
Voice vote, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
The next is a motion to recommend that the City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to waive bid procedure, continue professional services with Baxter Woodman Engineering of Crystal Lake, Illinois for interim water superintendent for an amount not to exceed $130 per hour until new superintendent is found, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item C, a motion to recommend that City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to draft specification and advertise for bids for the 2011 CDBG Sidewalk Program. Funds are available again this year in the CDBG program, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May, and I would like to interject that I have received notification that CDBG has been cut approximately 16.2 to 16.7% across the board by the federal government, so that impact will certainly have to weigh in on how we use those funds over the next year, and this cut sounds like it's going to be for several years. So, again, we have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, Alderman May. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item D, motion to recommend that the City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to draft specifications and advertise for the bids of the 2011 road maintenance contract. This project would be funded from bond proceeds in Fund 312-131-277-619, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. This is a voice vote item. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item E was a presentation we had by Utility Service Partners. I'll just give the audience a quick... Never mind. Item F is request permission to enter an agreement for the NOSCO temporary parking. Motion to recommend that the City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to enter an agreement for the NOSCO temporary parking, and I so move.
I believe that's item E.
I'm sorry, okay.
Yes, item E as corrected. So we have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
No.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item F, motion to recommend that the City Council authorize the proper city officials permission to bid seawall repairs for the city-owned property formerly known as the Coke Plant, and I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. In case anybody doesn't know what has happened down at the harbor, we have property that was the city took ownership of, that the seawall at the time was in disrepair. I do believe that you could probably look back on the winter storms and the wave action and maybe some other reasons, but that seawall did collapse into the harbor. It is a danger to anybody who's navigating the harbor. We are taking temporary means to try to make sure that at least there are buoys in place and that it's kept as safe as possible, but we do need to move forward with repairing this with all due haste. So we have the motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Labor Relations has been finished. Now we go on to Alderman Rivera, Economic Development / Genesee Theater Committee.
Okay, very well. Thank you, Mayor. The Economic Development / Genesee Theater Committee came to order this evening at 6:30. We have 2 items on the agenda. Item A, first of all, before I mention that, we did meet with the Uline Marketing Director, Brian, a couple days ago last week, and it was a very good meeting in terms of the, we talked about the investment that they're putting for the city. We talked about continuity in terms of creating a management committee. We talked about partnerships, between the Friends of the Genesee, the Potential Management Committee, and the City of Waukegan, the Genesee Theater Committee. With that said and done, I think that would definitely create a positive synergy, and hopefully we can make this work, and I think it will. So the item A, accept the offer from Uline for their investment in the Genesee Theater, work with them to create a new management board, and to partner with the Friends of the Genesee Theater. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Valco. Roll call on that, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Item B.
Item B, authorize staff and Corporation Counsel to negotiate contract extension with SMG for management of the Genesee Theater. And I so move.
We have the motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Valco. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
That is all, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Rivera. Next up, we go to old business. Item A is exercise the power granted by Section 8-1-7 of the Illinois Municipal Code to authorize the mayor or his designees to make necessary expenditures, and during the 2011-2012 fiscal year extending from June 1st, 2011 to June 30th, 2011, 1/12 of appropriations made for the 2010-2011 fiscal, or until the 2011-2012 fiscal year appropriation ordinance is adopted, whichever takes place first, at which time such authority shall expire automatically. Furthermore, non-essential spending is discouraged until such time as the 2011-2012 appropriation ordinance is adopted. I'd like to take a motion from Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May, to approve this. Roll call on this, please.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, which is basically just kind of a formality. So what we're doing is taking off the table and holding over until the next regular city council meeting the appropriation ordinance for the city of Waukegan, Illinois for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2011 and ending April 30th, 2012 as presented on April 18th, 2011. We'll take a motion to
So
hold.
moved.
I'm sorry.
So moved.
Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Newsom. Roll call, please.
What are we doing?
Holding over.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Under reports and communications, just real quickly, the official EAV assessed average value for 2010 tax year came in from Lake County. And I was provided with some information which I'd like to give you and read to you this evening. And I'm going to go back to the year 2001 so you can see the changes in values that have occurred, and all this is in reference to the year 2001 as far as the changes. And I will also then give you the information in change versus the prior year. So the first one being the year that this was, we don't have any information going back behind 2001 included in this document, but the EAV for the city of Waukegan was $1,068,490,159. In 2002, it was $1,157,487,460. That was an 8% growth over the year 2001. In 2003, it was $1,251,383,079. That was a change versus 2001 was 17%. The change versus 2002 was 8%. So we had an 8% growth from the year preceding. In 2004, the EAV was $1,299,561,590. Now the change versus 2001 was a growth in 22%. The change from the prior year was a growth of 4%. In 2005, it was $1,378,090,264. Compared to 2001, it was a 29% growth over those years. Compared to the previous year, it was a 6% growth. In 2006, $1,467,006,918. The change versus 2001 was 37%. The change over the year previous was 6%. In 2007, the EAV was $1,573,036,004. The change from 2001 was 47%. The change versus the previous year was 7%. In 2008, it was $1,627,431,047. The change versus the year 2001 was 52%. The change versus the previous year was 3%. In 2009, $1,565,570,467. The change versus 2001 was 47%. The change versus the previous year was minus 4%. In 2010, which is our last year that we have in this document, it was $1,442,086,224. The change versus 2001 was 35%. The change versus the previous year of 2009 was minus 8%. Now, this information will be posted on our website, will be made available to the public if it already hasn't been, so that everybody can get a much more clear picture as to how the value, this is the overall value of the city of Waukegan, has changed over the years. I think the thing that we are struggling with up here the most right now are the fact that we've had this drop in the last 2 years that has eaten into our tax levy and our budget. So we wanted to make this available and have this read today into the record so everyone got a chance to hear it. But if you have any questions and you want to see it again, go to our website. It may, Tina, is it up there now? It will be tomorrow. So wait till afternoon tomorrow or so and take a look, and you can read this for yourself. Have any questions, give us a call. We'll do our best to answer the questions for you. So following that, we'll go to new business and recommended actions by Corporation Counsel. Item A, which is to approve the payroll dated May 4th, 2011, the amount of $1,348,519.80. Take a motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, approve bills dated May 16, 2011, in the amount of $1,992,378.22. Take a motion by Alderman Newsom, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Do we have anything under block parties? Because I don't have any specifics there. We have no block parties. Item D, we'll take a motion by Alderman Rivera, seconded by Alderman Valco, to grant permission for the Waukegan Main Street raffle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item E, take a motion by Alderman Valco, seconded by Alderman Conken, to grant permission to the American Legion to have their poppy sale. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Under ordinances and resolutions, item A, resolution which is authorizing the sale of property by the City of Waukegan pursuant to the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, including 520 Baldwin Avenue. We'll take a motion by, whose ward is this in? A motion by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Rivera. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera. Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Item B, ordinance approving zoning calendar number 2341, located at 2203 Belvedere Road. It's a conditional use permit for a billiards establishment. Again, whose ward? Is this yours, Alderman Rivera? I'm sorry, Alderman Conken. We'll take a motion by Alderman Conken, seconded by Alderman Rivera. Roll call, please.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera. Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken. Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Alderman's time. Mr. Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. It's been a tough road the last few months for the citizens of this city, its employees, and its elected officials. I have only been an alderman since the beginning of the month, but I've been privy to the workings of the city for a while, as the mayor wanted the alderman coming on board and hit the ground running, as he has previously stated. At this time, I would like to commend two city employees that I've had the pleasure to work with, sitting down and discussing issues and trying to get to some sort of resolution. Finance Director Tina Smilgalski, who has been diligently working with the unions in the budget and who has sent me emails at 5:45 in the morning trying to get issues in order. And Legislative Liaison Noel Kisher-Lepper, who is the go-to person for the alderman and who has sent me emails at 6 o'clock at night from the office trying to get the agenda set. Thanks to both of you for your hard work. I would like to say thank you to the IAFF and the firefighters, the police sergeants, and the lieutenants for making concessions in their contracts so that there would be no layoffs or demotions. To dovetail on that issue, I'm disappointed that the layoff notices went out 2 weeks ago and took effect Saturday night before this council had a chance to vote on the issue. It appears that the cart was put before the horse, where the employees with families were let go before a budget was set into place and voted on. Mayor, before I became an alderman, I was sitting out in the audience and heard you remark more than a couple of times that you considered this city a corporation and that you were the CEO of that corporation, as did Mr. Foster and others. No big corporation that I know of lets its CSO, the CEO, do things without board approval. And I believe that this is the way that it should have been done here. I'm making a motion to direct Corporation Counsel to research and get back to this body if a mayor who serves in a home rule city has the right to pick the number of employees to be laid off without the alderman voting on the issue.
Alderman, if I might, we can't take a motion on that this evening, but your request is certainly heard, and we will talk about it. But, you know, if I'm going to take a moment of privilege here. Several times since I've become mayor, this issue has been put on the table in regards to who makes the decision on the layoffs. It was offered to be a joint endeavor, and that offer was turned down. And it has traditionally been that this authority for this very distasteful task has gone through the mayor's office. And that has been the way that it has been before I became mayor. And it has not changed up to this point. I do not relish doing this. If the alderman were to want to change the ordinance, I would obviously have no problem sharing this duty with them. That's not a problem for me. It was offered. And I mean, we can dig up the audio tapes and the videotapes where these discussions took place on the floor of this room, and so that the discussion could be heard again. But it was offered, and I have no problem. If you guys want to do it, and you do the ordinance, fine by me. I'll share the dark gloom with you of the decisions that had to be made. That's not a problem. I'd more than love to burden you with this as well, and have maybe each one of you sign each one of the letters in addition to my signature that went out to every one of the people that works for us that in December were put into a position of, we didn't have enough money to pay you, and this is where we ended up. So please, you know what? I would ask you, do it. Take it. Be partners in this. And I would absolutely willingly
The issue,
give over to
the
it.
issue that I'm speaking of, sir, is the issue that the numbers are arbitrarily made with either department heads or someone else, and that we see those figures off the finance, from the finance director, but the people are laid off before we can even vote on it. That's my problem, and it's a big problem.
Well, understood, Alderman, but the laying off part of it is not a voting item. That doesn't come up for vote.
But the budget is.
The budget is.
And it's budgeted, they are budgeted out of the budget, and we don't get to vote on that. And they're laid off before we vote on the budget and the
Well,
appropriations.
The reason that that has happened this time is because of the fact that the budget has been carried over. That has been one of the problems that we've had to deal with. But I will say this, Alderman, that everybody there's a list outside of Human Resources that goes down through and shows everybody the seniority as to, you know, in their pod or their group, as it were. And that has been posted for a considerable amount of time. And so, truthfully, the opportunity to vote on this was there as far as the budget is concerned. And any amendments or changes that that you might have wanted to make could have been made if the budget had come onto the table and stayed there and been voted on.
That's the key. If it had come
And it
out
wasn't.
and stayed there. I appreciate your time, and I'm not going to go back and forth, but one statement that you did make that in the past, this is the way that it was done with the layoffs. Mayor, it's never been done before. We are first here, so we can throw that out.
Okay.
Okay? It's never been done here in the city of Waukegan before, and we're treading on real shaky ground as far as with families, not as far as legality or anything,
Oh, okay.
but with the families and stuff. And I just want to be sure, because we have men and women with 5 kids. They just bought new houses.
Right.
We have single mothers out there. We just had a child a year ago. So I just want to be sure. And I want, as the Corporation Council says, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And I'm a very firm believer in that. Okay?
And we have, I think, probably some of the best legal advice on this issue that you can obtain. through our people, through the group out of Chicago, Ansel Glink, and we follow their advice because we
Okay.
believe it keeps us out of
But I
trouble.
would like to see something in print that says the number is arbitrary from the mayor, and they have the ability to lay, I'm sorry, maybe I'm misspeaking.
Yeah, no.
That the number set by the city, by the mayor, and the department heads, without the vote of council, they can lay them off. And I don't buy it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I would like.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, and I too want to congratulate Tina and the staff for working out the contracts with the lieutenants and the sergeants. But I too am disappointed as well, seeing, families of the police officers being laid off. I know a couple of them personally. My question is, and I know it's by law, when negotiating, I sure would like to see at least an alderman and part of the union negotiations. I don't know why we don't have a representation in there, as far as the alderman is concerned. Maybe Newton or, Mayor, if you could explain why. I know, I think that would certainly, have the face of an alderman in part of these negotiations there. I think that would help. But I too am a little disappointed in seeing 8, police officers laid off. But I'm hoping, and I'm asking, for the union to really come back to the table and for us to continue to try to negotiate and come to an agreement. I definitely want to see that, and I know we can do it. But we need you to come back to the table, and we need to also, come to an agreement as well. So I'm looking forward to hopefully that will happen. Art Space. Over the weekend, they had the art walk again, and despite the weather, it was well attended, and there was a lot of people there, and it was a lot of fun. And I believe, as a matter of fact, I know it's creating, the synergy that we need, to start things going on in the downtown area. So I'm very excited about that. But again, in terms of, I think it was Dan Trainoff with this issue, we have FIST. I don't know why we can contact FIST, look at this area, and have FIST involved, for the cleanup. I think that can be done. That's an answer, that we can get them involved in cleaning up these areas as well. And I'm quite sure they're willing to help out on that. So there's an option there. So, Dan, if you're still here, that's an option that you can also, get in touch with FIST, and they can do a lot of work there too as well. Thank you.
Alderman Cunningham.
It's refreshing to hear that the new aldermen that are coming on has as much passion as I think the rest of us do when it comes to layoff. As we all know, this is new territory for everyone. But I want to remind people that it was not just our first responders who have had an effect on this layoff. It is other personnel within the city of Waukegan. And I too believe that the unions that are out there, along with the negotiators with the city, will continue to come to this table, to the table, and come up with things that is going to benefit, and I use the word our city, particularly with our police department. I understand that there's a lot of things that you probably don't want to really relieve yourselves of, but one thing that sticks out in my mind, and I speak to you as a operations manager, the 12-hour shifts and these minimums that are part of, I think, requirements I don't know how that really affects with you guys, but I tell you, there needs to be a way that we can utilize personnel most effectively and efficiently when you're doing your jobs. How that works in your scheme of things, I don't know. I'm just speaking to you. When it comes to operations, you cannot jeopardize the way you utilize your men and your women to serve and protect our community, whether it be the police department, the fire department, public works, etc. I really believe that if we can come around that particular issue, that we can definitely move forward with working out our city. And as far as, and Mayor, I keep hearing you say, and I'm disagreeing with you on this one. I keep hearing you tell everyone that if we would have resolved this issue in December, if we would have resolved this issue in December and passed the budget, I don't necessarily agree with that particular theory. Our budget technically, realistically, is not due, I think, until June 30th. That's the last day to pass the budget. Obviously, from a operation standpoint, you would love to have these issues resolved a little bit earlier. But to say the only reason that these things are happening is because we did not come up or increase the tax levy, I disagree with that. And I would sit down and challenge you to that. I shouldn't say word challenge, but debate that issue with you all day. But I think what we need to be saying is not that we didn't increase the tax levy or we didn't pass the budget. It's just there are things that are in that budget I think we could be doing a little bit different. We can utilize certain resources within that budget a little bit different. But I don't think it wasn't because we didn't pass the budget. Everything that's a part of this budget process was put in there in place long before I got here and before you got here. It is up to the means of the mayor and his staff, then the aldermen, to come up with a resolution to move the city forward. So I would ask that you refrain from saying that it was caused because we didn't pass the budget. I don't think that's the reason that you're doing what you're doing. Or I should say you're doing, that we're moving in this direction. I'm not placing blame on an alderman, on a mayor or his staff. I'm saying let's move the city. And in moving the city, there are certain things we all have to compromise on. And again, those unions that are out there, there's always compromise. Compromise is what it is. I just hope we can find a way that we all can compromise to move Waukegan forward. And if we're moving the city forward, we all move forward. Second, I'd like to put a request that was given to me today by Mr. Arthur Gass, the Black Chamber of Commerce of Lake County. Mr. Gass is asking that a piece of city parcel that's located at Lakeview and Kennard Street, the northwest corner, that piece of parcel be used as a community garden. And yes, as a community garden. And my report to him, or my suggestion to him, is that I would bring this up tonight in council. However, there couldn't be a decision made probably until the next council meeting. But as was mentioned by Mr. Finn last week, where I objected to it, and I had my reasons to do that, I'm going to suggest that they call Mr. Finn or whomever Mr. Finn directs to talk to about kind of moving forward, because they need to start planning right away. But I did let them know an official action could not take place until we get it on the agenda, etc. So I have the request here. I'll give it to the clerk. We go from there. Last but not least, I'd like to speak about Art Walk. Art Walk was beyond a success in my opinion. I happened to walk up and down Genesee Street, and I physically walked. The rain, I don't know if it was rain or wind or whatever it was refreshing though. It was quite refreshing. And I say that because I purposely sat back in the back and I listened to the voices, I listened to the action, I listened to people's body movements. people truly enjoy themselves. Now, I'm not an art man, don't really know half of the stuff that kind of was out there. Some of it looked good, some of it was kind of strange to me, but the fact is, we had individuals that did not even live in our city, was probably as far as south as Evanston or the Cook County area, and they just didn't like what they saw. They loved what they saw. I say that environment was just so powerful. You couldn't have paid enough money to advertise your community, what you're able to do then. It was quite refreshing. And you went from, and I will say this though, it was in the First War, most of it was anyway. But we had an opportunity to go up the street. I walked up to Big Ed's, and I saw the jazz going and the people eating the sandwiches and just really enjoying themselves. And what hit me, entertainment. Entertainment. We in this community cannot be afraid of entertainment. If you do not create an entertainment district on Genesee between Belvedere and Genesee and Grand and Genesee, you're going to be missing the boat. Art Walk is just the beginning of where we should be going. You need entertainment to thrive your city. Look at any community throughout this country, part of the revitalization was entertainment. It has been said that people don't want to come here because our city is, they're scared to come here. People have been said that our city is not this. If you can go to the city of Chicago, understand, their crime rate is far beyond exceeds ours. But what you do understand is between, I want to say 22nd Street, the Loop, Rush Street, Michigan Avenue, you don't hear about anything. And you're talking probably one of the biggest cities that has a major problem when it comes to crime. But you don't hear it in the areas where their entertainment districts are at. Despite maybe some of our officers being laid off, I still will bet dollar to none that our police department will secure our community far better than anybody on the face of this earth. We cannot be afraid of entertainment. If we institute the entertainment, we set the rules, we set all of the guidelines for people to go by. But if we continue to be afraid of it, we'll never grow. We'll sit back, Art Walk was nice, and that's all it will be. I am begging, get a committee, I want to see that, let's move on an entertainment district in downtown Waukegan. If Art Walk has done nothing for us, it should have given us a reason to move forward with entertainment, an entertainment district in downtown Waukegan, and using that Genesee Theater the best way that you can, and I say this with or without SMG, but the goal is to get bodies downtown who are not always from here, but who's going to give us a mouthpiece, we'll take it outside of here. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Alderman Conken.
Thank you. Just want to make mention of the fact that I got a chance to spend a little time downtown last week. I attended the Sheryl Crow concert at the Genesee Theater, and it was packed to the rafters. From what I understand, it was just a few seats short of selling out, which just proves to me that with the right entertainment down there, Genesee Theater can thrive. And I'm hoping that Alderman Rivera and the committee will use the partnership money that they receive from Uline and get down to quality acts. We'll draw the right crowd and a continuous, constant crowd down there to the Genesee to make it work. I think they did a wonderful job on that show, and I hope we continue to see the entertainment that people want to come downtown and see. I also spent Friday night at the Clockwise Theater with Alderman Valco. And we met that night. We saw a play called Goodness. We enjoyed ourselves. And it was a good experience, good time, and I hope to see a lot more people down there at the Clockwise Theater. I think they put on a nice program, and I hope everybody can get down there and enjoy it. For my last comments, once again, I'm going to make a comment again. Our veterans are the backbone of the country, We have a Memorial Day parade starting at 10:30 on the 30th, Monday, and I hope to see everybody down there for the parade for Memorial Day. Thank you very much.
Alderman Moiseo.
Just a couple of things about the taxes. We were told that we would levy the same amount of dollars. We took in the same amount of dollars, but those dollars we took in, more have been allocated to the pensions. So that's why on your tax bill, it's much higher, because more money, more tax dollars that we've taken in. I mean, we took in the same amount. Now, Mr. Moore said we've taken a little bit more. I'd like to find out why we've taken in a little bit more. We were told we were voting on the same amount of tax dollars. The rate went up, obviously, because if the value of the house goes down to get the same amount of dollars, that formula's got to go up. One number's got to go up. The house value's not going up, but so the rate's got to go up. But when you look at your tax bill, when it looks at the pensions, more tax dollars that we took in have been allocated to the pension funds. That's why on that line item, the pension funds are so large. They went up 64%, I think Mr. Lakey said. But the fact that we took in more tax dollars than we were told, I'm sure there's a reason. I'm going to find out and be able to hopefully explain it to people. Because there are some people that I've talked to whose tax bills have gone down, have stayed the same, and some people have gone up. I'd like to know why that happened, so that I can explain it to people. That's one of our jobs up here, is to try to explain it to people. Sometimes we don't have all the answers. We have to go to the people that, we're just like you. We just represent you. We don't have all the answers on why that happened. A couple other things. Diane Veretti touched on it. I feel for far too long we've had an antiquated system of government. If you look at cities around the country and around the state, they have a different form of government. And with the mayor announcing that he's going to be done in 2 years, maybe it's the opportune time now to go to a part-time mayor and a full city manager. That, for far too long, we haven't had a day-to-day manager. I don't know if it's better, but it's not like we're reinventing the wheel. If you look at that, most of those communities are a little bit more stable.
Disagree.
The other thing is, with that being said, maybe it's time for nonpartisan elections. That's a waste of taxpayers' money to have all those elections, too, for the county clerk to have to do all that work. If Chicago can be nonpartisan, why can't Waukegan? So those are some things we need to think about. When you want change, sometimes you have to change the system, not just the people. You got to change the system, the way you do it. So maybe that will improve. Thank you.
Alderman Beedling.
Good evening. Waukegan is a corporation, but it's a corporation where its customers can no longer afford its services. If you want to learn what's really going on, the Waukegan website, click on there, click on departments, look at the red door that says HR, click on that, and click on the collective bargaining agreements. I read them. They take hours to read. There's a lot of pages to read there. You want to learn what's going on? Read the contracts that we have to adhere to here. There's very little flexibility. Our federal government's out of money. Grants are available. Is that coming from the $1.6 trillion that they're borrowing this year in the budget? The federal government's broke. Our state is broke. This city is broke, and our taxpayers are broke. Something's got to give somewhere. Government is still existing in a bubble to a certain degree. The private sector, everybody has taken a haircut. They've taken benefit cuts. To me, when I first came in here, I thought, hey, you know, we take in X amount of dollars. I don't want anybody to drop their pay grade. To me, I thought it would be a good suggestion that everyone just contributes whatever necessary amount to their benefit package, their pension and their health insurance, to balance the city budget. And when better times come back, the money would go back in the city worker's pocket. We'd have a pay freeze until better times come back. Nobody's getting pay raises out there anymore. Most assuredly, the middle class has gotten nothing. The last 10 years started off as a fantasy.
and it's turned into a nightmare. That's what happens when the federal government gets involved with pumping up the economy with zero interest rates, low mortgage rates, home ownership for everyone, which just inflated the home values, as you heard the mayor say. It went up, up, and then it went down. Down 8%. Next year it's going down again. It's going to go down the year after that. Everybody has to tighten their belt, and I urge anyone with a contract in the city of Waukegan, you come back to the table, let's look at things realistically. You guys could have a public relations bonanza if you would deal honestly with the taxpayers of this community. We all appreciate your services, we really do. But believe me, talk to the people in my ward, the 4th Ward, they're out of money. They're just barely making ends meet. Can't keep going back to the trough anymore. You've got to hold the line. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom. Alderman Tempest.
Thank you. Alderman, you talked about contracts. I look at the MAP contract, 41 pages of what the boss can do and can't do and what rights they have. It's staggering, it really is. Plus a 12-hour shift. 12 hours as a policeman with a gun, making decisions. Hell, I'm tired after working 8. How can they work 12 and be really responsible? I don't know. Drink more coffee, as one told me, which is wrong. I love our policemen, but I got to draw the line at the 12-hour shift. I'm sorry, guys. Alderman Velko motioned earlier today to make a motion to do some things, and I think the mayor cut him off on his motion. He is allowed to, any alderman here can make a motion. We can make a motion in a second, then it can be referred to a committee, but he's allowed in the minutes to make a motion. I don't think he quite understood what you're trying to do. You did it very politely. I see the mayor's point. I really feel bad for the mayor. You laying somebody off, and you sign your name to the letter. It's got to be a very, very traumatic experience to do that to somebody. If you've never been laid off, you don't know. Happened to me once when I was a young fella on my own, 18 years old. Had a room on Porter Street on my own, and I got laid off. I panicked. I literally panicked. Found a job in 3 days, but back then it was a little easier. Now you're out of work. You're out of work for a while to even find one. So I think your motion is in order, and then that motion could be referred to the Labor Relations Committee. And if I could yield at this time to the new alderman to make that motion, I think that'd be fair, Your Honor. I mean, we can't vote on it tonight. We can't vote on it. And I think that's what you meant.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Correct.
so if I could yield to him at this time.
Thank you, Alderman Tempest. And to clarify, it probably should go into judiciary. And my motion is going to be to place this into committee for review by the committee. And the motion is to direct Corporation Counsel to research and get back to this body if a mayor who serves in a home rule city has the right to pick the number of employees to be laid off without the alderman voting on the issue.
And we will.
Okay.
Sir.
And I'd like it placed in the committee, sir, so we can bring
We
it
will
back
do
out.
as you request.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's all we asked before. Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure it was understood we couldn't vote.
Oh, absolutely,
I'm sure
sir. I know
that's-
that.
I know
just
that's
wanted-
what you
okay.
meant, but it didn't come out. Well, the mayor this evening read, it's too bad your TV camera can't get it, the equalized assessed valuation that over the years that we had. And to the last 2 years, the evaluation kept going up, up, up. So you had more money on your budget, your tax rate did not go. It stayed at a pretty level. This year, the tax rate is the highest in the history of Waukegan, and I keep track of this, at $1.98. If you add up all the little things on your tax bill, it's at $1.98. We maintained about $1.40 for years and years, and before that it was $1.60. And I already told you about Jim Edgar making a 5% cap, which kept it, we never went over 5%. But I'm afraid, Mayor, 2011, you're going to see another deduction I know you're going to, on assessed valuation. And now where are we? Contract today, at least 3.2 after a year. Another 1% a year later on that, top of that. Yes, I know inflation's kicking in too, but you've heard it from the alderman here. People don't have the money. You don't have the employment you had. They say the employment's such and such, but they don't count the ones that gave up, don't look anymore. How many people are on food stamps right now? You almost have more people on food stamps than you got providing for the food stamps. Go to the grocery store. Watch carefully as they pay for their groceries, what comes out. Those aren't credit cards all the time. They're link cards. Quite a bit of link cards. We need to have more volunteers. I went down to the garden, Mr. Finn's garden, down by the bank there. That we need volunteers in there to work to get it going again. Freddie Barstow was down there that day, got his little plot nice. The idea of community garden, I like it, but I really think we're heading the wrong direction. I think we need to have gardens in people's backyards, in their backyards where they can take care and guard their little garden. My potatoes are up already, you know. I mean, it's a great, great life having a garden and flowers and that, it really is. But just to put them out in a corner somewhere and trying to get people to come there is not the same as ownership of your own property or your own place and putting a garden in there. I would encourage people to go back to home gardening. It's a lot of fun. It's great to go out there and pull your fresh vegetables, and you can add a lot to your community by doing that and showing people that you care. I guess that's it. Again, grass cutting season's coming in effect with the vacant homes. To get those taken care of, I'd ask the neighbor next door, please cut the parkway. Don't take much to cut your neighbor's parkway. The house is vacant, cut the front yard anyway. If someone doesn't get to it, it sure keeps the community looking a lot better. We still have a number of vacant homes, and we're still working on that list. We try to keep that going, and we do have making the banks maintain them now. The city's done a good job of moving forward on that. And with that, Mayor, I want to thank you. I'm done.
Alderman May.
I'll be quick. First of all, I want to give a special thanks to Todd Binning and Russ Tomlin and the group from FIST. On the Tuesday before Art Walk, they were down in the ravine just on South Tennessee Street, picking up garbage and making the ravine presentable for the event. And it was really cold and windy that week, so we really appreciate their efforts. June 4th at Bowen Park, the Waukegan Park District will have the Dandelion Wine and Art Festival. They're still looking for musicians and artists, so please contact the Waukegan Park District if you're interested in participating. And on July 30th for the Main Street Wine and Art Stroll, they are also looking for musicians and artists. The last thing I want to say is I want to give a really big thank you to Liz Uline and Brian Schenker, who I've had the opportunity of meeting with a couple times in the last week or so. Corporate partnerships are an important part of our future, and I really, really appreciate this company stepping up and helping us and making this investment in the Genesee Theater. Waukegan thanks you. That's all I have. Thanks.
Very good.
Thank you, everybody. I'll take a motion to adjourn by Alderman Moiseo, seconded by Alderman Cunningham. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.